one of the qualities that your average peace officer has that I envy is the ability to just stoically take abuse, to just take it and move forward, stay unmoved, stone-like, professional. That quality is demonstrated on a daily basis by our peace officers. And one of the ways in which it's demonstrated is as they stand by and show no reaction whatsoever to the debates that they hear us have about provisions that are going to have a very profound impact upon their quality of life and even up to and including their safety and their ability to protect themselves. That debate, the debate we've had about the role of law enforcement officers in our society has had a profound impact in recent years. What the 828 amendment does, just to cut to the chase, and then I'll give some background, is it increases the penalty for assaulting a peace officer from its current status as a gross misdemeanor to a felony. And the rationale for doing that is we've seen an alarming uptick in the number of assaults on peace officers in recent years. You go back to 2019, and the BCA Uniform Crime Report noted that there were 467 peace officer assaults statewide, which that number just onto itself is fairly alarming. But more alarming is the fact that over the next few years, those numbers jumped to 1,112 in 2001, and that was a 140% increase over a 3-year time frame. Now, we had some robust conversation in the Public Safety Committee regarding events and rhetoric which may have contributed to that 140% increase in assaults on peace officers. But certainly, regardless of what you want to attribute it to, this is an alarming uptick, and it needs to be dealt with. And we need to send the signal. We need to send two signals. One, that this is unacceptable behavior that is going to come along with it meaningful, lasting consequence. And two, and I think perhaps even more importantly, we need to signal to these men and women who are willing to put on a badge and take on the public trust and represent us, enforce the laws that we write, go out there and do the things that we tell them to do, that we actually honor them for that, and that we value them for that, and that they're important, and that they're worthy of protection, that as they protect us, they're worthy of being protected by the laws that we write. That's the intention behind this.
No peace officer should be assaulted. No person should be assaulted. Representative Hudson, thank you for increasing this penalty. I myself have been assaulted many times. Usually the perpetrator doesn't get anything because some judges call it part of your job. We need to do what we can to protect the few officers we have left. I'm not sure how many hundreds Minneapolis is down. We're somewhere down between 12 and 1,500 officers across this state. And it's going to take many years to get them back. We need to protect the ones we have, making sure that those that assault them are dealt with, because if they assault a peace officer, they'll assault you.
Thank you, Representative Johnson, for standing up. I didn't expect that, and it's meaningful because he's a former law enforcement officer. We got a few of those in this chamber on both sides of the aisle, and I am not one, and yet I'm offering this, and I think that that's significant because it is those of us who don't serve in that role who are represented by those who do. And the bit you said, Representative Johnson, about if they're willing to assault you, they're going to be willing to assault me. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we should do this. That's why we should have a higher threshold, a higher standard. We often talk about a higher standard for police officers. They should be held to a higher standard, which is true, they should be. But how about lifting them up to a higher standard? Providing a higher degree of consequence for assaulting them as they are representatives in a meaningful way of us.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, the clerk will take the roll on the amendment.